Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is TBR Schmitt, and this is my wife Samantha.
Hello.
And today we are watching episode 7 of Generation Kill. What'd you think of the last episode?
Well, I feel like the morale was up from what we'd seen.
Yeah, the morale is definitely up.
Obviously, we still had a couple of incidents where there is still some tension. We also did have an accidental civilian casualty.
Yeah, which I guess the comments actually said that individual survived that.
Right, thankfully.
Yeah. So there's definitely still, like you said, some tension and some awkward things going on. It kind of seems like we're at the end. I mean, obviously we're at the end of the series, but the Marines themselves feel like they're at the end of the war. They're struggling to find missions to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think there's a lot left for their purposes. And a theme throughout the series so far has kind of been, are they even being utilized to their potential or to their training?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they've just caused a lot of chaos along the way, but that's explained as intentional.
Right.
So definitely an interesting series that I'm curious to see how it kind of wraps up.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the final episode and kind of see where all of these Marines kind of end up.
Yeah. So if you would like to see the full-length reaction to this, as well as everything else that we've reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you would like to interact with us on our Instagrams, Twitch, or Twitter, all those links are in the description as well. And with that, let's get into the episode.
I need some more 50 cal ammo.
Always peeing.
That's a lot of city. If we're not careful, we get lost in this here.
Is this Baghdad?
I think so.
She a slum called Saddam City.
Saddam City.
Dude, check it out.
Hell yeah.
I wrote USA with my pith.
Nice.
pretty good.
Yeah. Had to start and stop that stream, maybe.
Trailers for sailoring.
Gonna miss Ray singing.
Yeah, me too.
Oof.
Yeah. Is Ray driving?
No,
Oh.
I think it was Walt.
Be advised, the team leader's been fired. Over.
Can't raise Cocker?
Fired.
All hail First Recon.
A lot of the Marines seem pretty relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Combat's over, Rube. Besides, you can't dig through concrete.
Can't believe he got fired.
He tries to stick the dude, we stop him, or we get suspended. We're trying to stop the captain. Now I'm a war criminal?
That's ridiculous.
I relieved him for about 20 minutes. Reinstated him.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Eric, I'm not going to stand for this.
The people who aren't responsible are the ones who take all the shit.
The important thing, Brad, is that Eric and Redmond hang together. We don't want them talking on their own.
They're suspended, and you're not.
Beyond my control. They told us that going in, and now they're hanging us out to dry.
What is this us? He's not in trouble.
He's the cause.
To collect intelligence on Fedayeen and Ba'ath loyalists who are still at large, and to prevent lawlessness and disarm the populace.
Sounds like a local police force.
We have rolled through this country, fucking things up. And now we have to show these people what we liberated them for. And judging from their rate of fire, dropping a bad guy every 5 or 10 minutes.
Wow.
Compared to where we've been, I think it's pretty safe here. We should all get a good night's rest.
Pretty safe, and they're dropping a bad guy every 5 minutes.
A fucking car bomb at the main gate.
Looks like I was wrong about that good night's rest.
Whoa. Oh, shit. Doesn't feel very safe.
No.
There's nothing to be done, Brad. Just suck it up and smile.
They've been putting up with him for so long.
Seriously.
Just for this to happen.
Is he combat jacking?
Just trying to go to the bathroom.
I feel like the reporter should not be down here.
I think I heard an Iraqi get shot right in front of me.
You probably would have liked democracy.
Is that all you got?
Geez, just ricochet bullets going everywhere.
Mail call.
Couldn't imagine falling asleep.
Wow, look at all that mail.
Yeah.
All I got is bills.
Got a letter from my wife here.
What's wrong with that?
It came from the lawyer.
Ain't all joy and happiness, is it?
If morale gets really bad, Mike, let me know. I'll stir him up good with a grooming standard.
Wow. get their mind off of the shitty news from home.
He's okay being the bad guy.
Might write a book one day. What about you?
Please, stop the looting.
Casually bring up the book conversation.
Yeah. Jeez.
Sniper, he's in front of us.
One at a time. Rudy, go!
Bounding!
All right, Poke, go.
Bounding!
Oh man, is the reporter last?
Reporter, you ready?
Yes!
Go!
Oh my god. Oh my god, zigzag. Just get behind the wall.
What the?
He made it.
Set, sir!
Aww.
What the fuck was that?
Serpentine shell, serpentine.
Next time we come under fire, run in a straight line.
Aww.
That was the scariest moment that reporter's probably been in.
Yeah.
Means you can only go out one patrol at a time.
Yeah, they're not doing much, just sitting here.
Respectfully, you're asked to rat fuck some other establishment.
Jeez.
They got there first is all.
Fuck that.
Gonna go fight. Oh. They have so little to do that they're actually taking time to just fuck with each other at this point.
Yeah. I wonder what they're doing.
Jeez Louise, they're scaling that building. This is like the most they've actually used their training.
So cool.
This is insane that they're using their training more for this than at any other point in this show.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bring in my big-legged secretary.
Captain America made me a war criminal anyway, huh?
Damn right.
I guess.
Hell no.
That was probably a nice chair for them to sit in, though.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a nice painting.
Let out some steam.
Seriously.
Smoke. Saddam was an asshole.
You a cigarette?
Life is very hard.
Wow.
The men are all sitting around talking shit, and the women are all working.
Like the women instead of the men? We get our asses kicked.
You like boys or girls?
Girls, dog.
You like?
Not like it's all good.
He liked you, bro. Unexploded munitions, lack of electricity, no running water, and bandits coming through at night robbing homes.
So pretty much everything.
We should be out there in these neighborhoods at night when they really need us.
Battalion is saying there's too much heavy fighting going on at night for us to patrol.
Right.
Isn't that their job?
Just let this work itself out.
Work itself out. You're saying we're gonna stand down and let one side kill the other.
Pretty ridiculous.
But Captain, this neighborhood we were at today, it needed
That's not our mission.
Then why did they go?
Yeah, they've just been hanging out here.
They just gave all those people false hope, asked them what they needed, and then they're out.
Who the hell's this?
Yeah, very out of place.
Let's find out what they need.
Oh, maybe he's a translator?
They say they require only two items, fresh water and statues of George Bush. They don't understand the idea of a president who maybe next year will go out.
Wow.
Drinking shit water.
Damn. Hey, where's our new interpreter from?
Can't even get him water.
An AK now costs the same as about 2 packages of cigarettes.
Oh my gosh.
All this is a bomb. If it explodes, it will be bigger than the war.
Wow.
I mean, Fick wants to help. Jeez.
They asked me if it was possible, could we stay the night? Chances are we'll be patrolling some other neighborhood tomorrow and then another one the next day.
Oh my god.
I'm handing out candy to the sick kids outside. These dudes just come by and steal it from them.
Okay, get the fuck out of
The doc's not playing around.
here. Sir, we're about to be overrun. I can see that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here.
This is so out of control.
You have a plan to smash it, but no plan to put it back together.
He was a Ba'athist agent sent to spy on you. What?
The other translator?
Yeah, I think so.
I told him we'd bring water down to distribute from the mosque. We'd hit them if they come too close. He says these people are used to being pushed around.
Being used to being pushed around.
And see, they are broadcasting that it is against Islam to hurt the Americans.
Yeah, we invaded their country. You'd think they'd at least be grateful.
They can't even give out the water now?
How the fuck can an elite unit like ours roll into this shit with only one guy who can fucking speak Arabic?
Yeah, what the hell is Mish doing?
Yeah, I don't trust this at all.
They actually got water and they couldn't give it out.
But that seemed like a much nicer area, too.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, they finally gave us a night recon.
You're really desperate, Brad.
You're really desperate, Brad.
It's bizarre.
Just chaos in there still.
My father says it's time for us to increase our presence.
I'm gonna keep my men in a defensive posture until dawn. How copy?
Hitman 2, I say again.
Wow.
They want me to be more aggressive. Send them in into this, so I can come home with 21 men instead of 22? For what?
This is gonna be really bad.
Yeah.
Platoon commander's situational awareness doesn't extend very far.
Far enough, sir.
I mean, Nathan Fick knows nothing is happening positively. I think Nate is at the point where he doesn't want to be a part of this if it's going to be so stupidly run.
Mm-hmm. Just have people giving orders that aren't there. They're not seeing what he's seeing.
And they're terrible orders.
Dog, this is not cool.
Wow. That bomb would have just leveled this area.
Kids play in this garden.
Seems really dangerous, though.
Yeah, but it's even more dangerous to just leave it there.
Yeah.
Like this solves anything.
Well, there's one less bomb in the garden now, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a positive.
Huh? Some newly arrived grunts slaughtered some Iraqi kids who were playing on blown tanks.
Oh my god.
Another one says it's in a hole next to his house.
All right, let's go.
Jeez.
Get out of there, Brad. Sir, we have another Mark 82.
Up and out, Sergeant.
Get out of the hole. We're done here, Brad.
Do one little bit of good and then just get destroyed by more bad news. And then just have to leave stuff like that.
Yeah, like who's gonna take care of that?
Back home on the news, I bet you they're talking about what heroes we all are now. Reality.
Pull, motherfucker, pull! Pull it!
Look at this!
Who the hell was that? It was gonna fall all the way down the stairs.
I was afraid the gun was gonna go off.
21 days to take down an entire country.
They were only there for 21 days? Holy shit.
This seems like months and months.
Yeah.
Left after his fucking jealous bitch of a girlfriend shot his ass.
Jeez.
One day, my old man, he tries to patch things up with me. Takes us to this porn shop so he can have a jack in the booths. That was our father-son trip.
Sounds terrible.
Those who are very good and those who are dead. I'm very good. I keep you and our daughter locked away deep inside, and I try not to look there. Doc, you think that's too harsh?
Tony, you think way too much.
What a letter home.
Now you copy this, Major. My men are not carrying out that mission. This is a no-go.
2 engineers.
Damn. They're all just not listening.
They wanted us to help engineers mark a minefield with chem lights.
It's against division orders.
How many stupid things do they need to ignore?
Battalion requires an escort for combat engineers to mark a minefield.
He'll take it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hitman 3 is on it.
Of course. Oh my god, they're so close to the end and they're gonna pull this off.
What are they doing way the fuck out there?
Proceeding accordingly, and the engine.
There goes one of them.
Shooting at the Corbin! Man down!
Don't run out on it! Oh my...
Fuck.
Don't step in a landmine.
Turn off here, I know a shortcut. It's on the map sheet.
Oh my god.
I know this shortcut!
Please don't fuck this up, Captain America.
It's alright.
So ridiculous.
But they weren't supposed to eat those.
No, they're not.
One lost an eye, the other a leg beneath the knee.
Oh my god.
The word on why Encino Man sent them out on orders that Alpha Company refused?
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
You haven't said 2 words since Baghdad.
No more rip fuel.
Just lost all his personality.
It's always some fucking shithole.
Oh, the reporter's done?
Well, see y'all.
Thought you'd get a bigger goodbye.
Stay frosty.
Gonna play some guys from Alpha. You guys up for that? Fuck it, I'll play.
Is there anything you want to ask me before you unhitch your wagon?
Captain America.
He walked a fine line. He was within the box of acceptable behavior.
2 attempted bayonetings.
But no Iraqi prisoners actually wounded. And I have to show them trust. Lieutenant Fick, for example. There's some of this battalion who feel that Lieutenant Fick is unfit for command.
No one.
You should consider your sources, sir.
It's a terrible feeling, sending other people into combat. Terrible feeling.
It's a lot of responsibility on the Godfather's shoulders.
It's the excitement I felt. Getting shot at. Just something I hadn't anticipated about war. Did you?
There was definitely moments the reporter was smiling when shit was going off.
Right. That was interesting that he compared Captain America to Fick.
Yeah, because I'm sure there were people who complained about Fick, even if they were in the wrong.
Yeah! Outstanding, baby!
Maybe someone's going to get the opportunity to just lay Encino Man out.
Shorts.
Slow!
He has a look like he's about to
I'm nervous.
Oh, I thought it was going to be in the game.
What was that about?
I mean, I'm all for that. Encino Man needed to get punched in the face. But I thought...
I'm surprised that it was him that did it. Of all people.
I thought he would just level him or something like that in the game.
Yeah, that was outside of the game.
We had baseball at the end of Band of Brothers. And at the end of this, we have football and fighting. Yeah, Ray, you gotta watch out. Oh, no. Damn.
You alright?
Uh-oh.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like when they destroyed that office. It's just like they're getting out so much anger and frustration on each other, though.
Yeah. Maybe a full contact sport is not the best way to end this.
Should have maybe keep playing baseball.
We have to believe things are better now than they were under Saddam. This place was fucked before we got here, and it's fucked now.
Did he edit all his footage?
Oh, I guess. Premiere his movie.
Going around taking names.
I like this, like, recap. Oof. Aw. Brad made it in the movie, but he's not watching. Jeez. More and more of them are not enjoying watching this over again. Of course, it would be down to Trombley.
Death and hell followed with him.
What an ending.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird emotions going on there.
I was born in a bomb crater. My mother was an M16 and my father was the devil. You got the right to say what you want. We got the right to punch you in your fucking mouth if we disagree.
All right, that was the final episode of Generation Kill. What'd you think?
That was a very interesting episode.
Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about that episode.
Yeah, I feel the wrap up at the very end was so sweet and then it wasn't.
I feel like this whole episode had moments of good and bad throughout. Like you never had a time. It's not like it started bad and ended good. It was just constantly flipping back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't really do much. I mean, they were just sent in to restore order, but then they weren't allowed to restore order because it was too dangerous. So they spent a lot of time just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, I felt Fick's frustration.
Oh, yeah.
It was hard to watch, you know, they were going in with the best intentions, trying to find out exactly what these people needed, and that's why they were there, and then they couldn't give them anything that they needed.
And they needed a lot. Like, they had no running water, they needed jobs, food, medicine. I mean, they were getting raided at night, like...
Yeah, it was extremely dangerous, but that's what these guys are trained for.
Yeah, and I mean, like, giving them an opportunity to do something good would hopefully be a positive thing, but instead, you know, they just kind of hung out at different compounds along the way before they left. And, you know, we saw that frustration come out with Fick. We saw Brad trying to disarm bombs, trying to do something positive. And even we had that moment where they destroyed the first bomb, and we're like, cool, that's one less bomb that these kids can accidentally set off. And then they immediately get the news that a bunch of kids were just slaughtered because they were playing on a tank.
Right.
And it's just like, this whole episode, you didn't go more than a few minutes without feeling good, and then a few minutes without feeling bad.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of captures the whole spirit of this show.
Yes, I agree. It was definitely deliberate to feel the way that we're feeling, but it's just kind of hard to put into words.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you had some people trying to justify that, you know, we're doing a good thing, we're liberating them. And then you have someone like the doc being like, it was a piece of shit before we got here, and it's a piece of shit now that we're here. Like,
yeah, and we did not liberate them.
Nothing has changed. It's still just chaos.
Right.
You have someone like Trombley, who's probably super excited about all of this. Like, you have still, again, all of these different perspectives. And there was some interesting moments. I mean, we've talked all along about how it felt like they were not being used to their capabilities. Brad even talked about how $1 million per Marine of training, and they're just like glorified truck drivers. I think Brad said something like that. And one example of some like extreme recon like type mission is when the 4 Marines like scaled the side of the building. They infiltrated that office.
That was
like,
really cool.
it was really cool, and it's just like you get a glimpse of what these guys are capable of.
Yeah.
But none of that was used.
Not in the way that it was supposed to. They went in and they used that just to get past those people, to say essentially they got in, we got past them.
And fuck up this office, and then that's it.
Right. So yeah, there was a lot of emotions going on. I, from the start, really liked the reporter.
I really liked the reporter too.
I thought, obviously this story is written from his perspective, so I'm sure he's obviously going to be portrayed as very likable, but I did really like him a lot. And I thought that conversation at the end between the reporter and Godfather was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I like that the reporter, you know, stepped up. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are we doing here with Captain America, or how Fick is being treated? Like, yeah, that was a good moment by the reporter.
Yeah, but in comparing them, Godfather comparing the two, it's like, I understand that he's trying to make his point that he can't just get one complaint and then take extreme action because of a complaint.
His job is not necessarily like a babysitter or to monitor. Like, he said he has to have trust in his men, and he has to give them trust. And even though he did compare the two, it did seem like he knew what sides were correct. He probably, like he's talked about, like Captain America was right on the line, and it definitely seemed like Godfather knew, like, yeah, he's a shithead, but so far he hasn't fucked up completely.
Right.
And then with like Fick, you know, clearly it was probably Encino Man or the little guy who follows Encino Man around who would complain to Godfather about Fick disobeying orders. But I'm sure Godfather knew, like, that's one of my best guys. Like, I'm not going to keep pushing this narrative. So it was an interesting perspective from Godfather, because you got a little glimpse of that he was probably very well aware of everything that was going on, but he has to play this juggling act and still carrying out these missions successfully.
Right. It's definitely a fine line. I think the part of the episode that I was the most frustrated with, though, was with Captain America's team getting disciplined. Obviously, they were exonerated, but he was suspended for 20 minutes when this was completely his fault, and his team had to take the hit, I guess, take the discipline for it.
Yeah. And
I liked that interaction between Brad and Captain America, because Captain America was clearly like, trying to cover his ass.
Yeah, oh, we got to stay on the same page, and they shouldn't talk, and I'm getting a lawyer. Like, he knows he's in the wrong.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was definitely trying to cover his ass, and that was a good moment by Brad to be like, I don't think you guys have the same, like, what did he say? Like, I don't think you guys have the same interest in mind or something.
Yeah, and it's true, regardless of what had even happened, because obviously they weren't on the same side. But they were even more so not on the same side when you're walking around and you're fine.
Yeah.
Whereas they're being disciplined for something that you did.
Yeah.
So it was like polar opposites, but I liked that conversation between Brad and Captain America. I'm glad that kind of came to a head.
There was a lot of frustration that got out in this episode. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had, I don't know the technical term, but the leader of Alpha in the football game go up and punch Encino Man. And he was probably pissed because he turned down that mine mission and he found out that Encino Man went forward with it and got 2 engineers blown up.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot of frustration, and a lot of it I think did stem from Encino Man and Captain America and just kind of seeing like the incompetence there. Obviously, a couple episodes back, we had a full outright conversation and they were talking freely, and then you have the doc just straight to his face like, you're incompetent.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. Well, it's not good enough. And it was just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the more surprising things for me for this series, is that there was no emphasis necessarily on that pure danger of war, because we really didn't see anyone of our main characters or main Marines, get wounded or anything. It showcased a lot of the chaos of war, the incompetence, the struggle between people who know what to do but may not have the authority to do it.
Yeah.
And just how the whole chain of command operates. We saw little glimpses of stuff that originally we saw as pointless, stupid, waste of time. But as the series progressed, we start to realize that some of these little things are intentional, that maybe some of the sporadic and chaos that they went on their path was also so that the enemy couldn't kind of coordinate fast enough. That, the one Marine who would, yell at the grooming standards. We even saw another example in this episode where clearly a lot of the Marines are getting affected by some of the news that they're receiving from home.
Yeah.
And he was like, let me know if it gets worse and I'll come and start yelling at people, because I need to get their mind off of this and, back at angry at me.
Right, with a little wink.
Right.
Like he knew.
That was very cool to see. I did see in the comment section some real life stuff about that Marine who's portrayed, which is absolutely disgusting. I think he's in prison right now. So that's terrible. But understanding the motives of someone else doing those things in terms of being the purposeful bad guy in war, so that you can kind of keep everyone's anger and frustration dialed in and focused.
Right.
A lot of interesting stuff that was shown, and more of just kind of how war and Marines operate on a day-to-day basis, and not necessarily on specific battles or other themes that were portrayed in Band of Brothers in the Pacific.
Yeah, very, very different series. And I think that end really summed it up. Like, you had all these guys, they're finally kind of getting to see this video of their 21 days there.
Yeah, which that's way faster than I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was months and months.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to see. The whole beginning of that video is really all about brotherhood, and it was like heartwarming. And then you start throwing in like bombings and bodies and
women and children dead on the side of the road.
Yeah, it got very gruesome, and that's when a lot of the guys kind of started to disperse. And I think that ending with Trombley and then him kind of, you know, holding his gun a little bit tighter and walking off. That was kind of the perfect ending.
Yeah, because even Trombley, you know, is the main psychopath in this show.
Yeah.
And he was really enjoying the majority of this movie, and it got to the point where it was just him. And I feel like that ending was him being like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Grabbed his gun and walked off.
Yeah.
It would have been different if he just like pulled up the seat and sat down and kept smiling at the video.
Yeah.
But it was definitely this, you know, back and forth where there was moments where they were watching that movie and they were laughing and having a good time and patting each other on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And then there was people who would just look at it and just kind of take a second to reflect and then walk away.
That was enough.
Yeah, that was enough. Like, we don't need to relive it. This is literally what they just went through.
Right.
So definitely an impactful ending for sure.
Mm-hmm.
None of this show is what I expected.
No, I definitely thought it was going to be a lot more similar to Band of Brothers in the Pacific. I know a lot of people said to not compare the series, which I think we tried not to, but in terms of themes, I did assume that it would be closer, and it really was the polar opposite. But we've been seeing a great amount of comments. We've read them all, and I think that we've learned a lot, and it seems that this is the most realistic of the three series.
Yeah, and especially for modern warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And by no means does this show glorify American forces.
No.
If anything, it does a pretty heavy job in showing a high level of incompetence with some command, and how many casualties there are in civilians, and how destructive just war in general is.
Right.
This is not like some sort of heroic buildup or something. And that was pretty impressive to know that this is a very realistic take of what things are really like. And I feel like it's a good part of media to kind of showcase this stuff, because obviously to capture a larger audience or something, sometimes you focus on the heroics or on the big action sequences. And, you know, in the grand scheme of things, this show had very little action or anything. It was a lot of conversations and realistic dialogue and really difficult themes and imagery that you kind of were exposed to.
Right.
So super impressed by this. Like I said, not what I expected, but I really enjoyed watching through the whole thing and learned a lot, like you said.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad that we watched it. We kind of capped off our 3 HBO war mini-series.
Series. I don't know if there's more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we will have
Masters of Air, I know
Yes.
is I don't know if they've started shooting or something, so it might be a couple of years before that's out. But as far as I know, that's the next big movie series type of show that's similar to the 3 that we've finished.
Right. So I'm glad we watched this. I'm glad we're capping this off, and I'm excited to get into the next series.
Yeah, me too. If you would like to see the full-length reaction to this, as well as everything else that we've reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you'd like to interact with us on any other types of social media, all those links will be in the description as well. And with that, peace everyone.
Bye.
Bye.